There is an old saying, be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. Tonight, I'm talking about the price of Trump's lifeline to New York Mayor Eric Adams. The New York City mayor, already a foe of the left, owes his legal reprieve to the polarizing Republican president. Tyrone Bowman, live. Welcome to the program tonight. Welcome to the conversation tonight. We're talking about the charges against, made the corruption and embezzlement charges against Mayor Eric Adams has officially been dropped with the dismissal of all charges coming real soon. So let's talk about it tonight as written in the New York division of Politico. And this article was written by Sally Goldenberg and Joe Anuta. So let's get down to this story that's unpacked. Coming out of New York City, Mayor Eric Adams got a lifeline from President Donald Trump. On Monday, when federal prosecutors were moved to dismiss a sweeping corruption case against the Democrat. But in New York City, where Trump remains a toxic figure, the legal reprieve comes at a high cost. Adams is asking New York Democrats to nominate him for another term against the backdrop of low approval ratings, cash problems, and a field of aggressive rivals. The Trump administration's latest move only emboldens those opponents, who immediately attacked the mayor as beholding to the Republican. Their reasoning is that the legal mercy appears to come with conditions as it leaves open the possibility of resuming the case against Adams. Acting Deputy Attorney General M.O. Bove cited one of Trump's executive orders in his dismissal memo Monday night, writing that the White House is particularly concerned with the prosecution's impact on Adams' ability to support ongoing critical federal efforts to protect the American people from the disastrous effects of unlawful mass migration and resettlement, quote, close quote. It was Mayor Eric Adams who welcomed the migrants into New York City to begin with. Adams gave them free housing. He gave them credit cards. He gave them carte blanche. He put them up in hotels. He gave them food allotments. He did things for the migrants that he never did for his constituency. New Yorkers didn't get any free food. New Yorkers didn't get any free housing. New Yorkers didn't get hotel vouchers to stay in them. New Yorkers didn't get anything but grief, heartache, and pain from the man they put in power. Yet the migrants who came from Texas, because Governor Greg Abbott sent them there, and Adams openly welcomed them, he spit in the faces of all the constituents who put him into office. This man is going to betray every Democrat in New York City if you give him the primary win and he goes on to win in the general election. I'm telling you, he's going to defect to the Republican Party and become a full-fledged MAGA Republican. Don't be duped. President Trump isn't doing favors for nothing. There is a price tag attached to it. On Tuesday, Adams delivered a brief speech focused on his personal biography and policy accomplishments, but almost totally devoid of reference to the federal corruption case that's weighed him down for the past 6 months. During those 6 minutes, he made clear without saying it directly that he's charging forth with his re-election plans. Behind the scenes, though, his team is aware his ties to Trump pose a political risk and is strategizing how to minimize the downside as the mayor prepares to begin campaigning. You can campaign all you want. The dog is out of the doghouse. People know who you're beholden to. Don't sit back and allow what happened to Kamala Harris, because Kamala Harris was forsaken, left out in the cold by the Democratic Party. I'm not going to let the Democrats off the hook, because they could have done much, much more to help her to win the election. Adams has been totally mum when it comes to migrant deportation. He hasn't said one word. He hasn't addressed it. He hasn't held a press conference. He has been defiant. He has been insidiously relentless in keeping his mouth shut. And you're going to see what side he is unequivocally on. When he starts campaigning, he's going to sound more like a MAGA Republican. He's duping the Democrats in New York City. He's duping y'all, I'm telling you now. Once the shook of all this and the drama has subsided and his opponents are all screamed out, what's going to matter is, did he deliver and did he stay true to his promise? And if he did, then he'll be reelected. And a person close to the mayor granted immunity to freely discuss internal strategy. Almost everybody else who is in this race right now and at some point in the near past or currently has a major policy position that is the opposite of what New Yorkers say they want on police, crime, immigrants, and generally the way the New York city government should be run. No, what New Yorkers don't want, they don't want a Democrat who is a Republican in the closet. That's what New Yorkers don't want. They don't want somebody pretending to be a Democrat and sounding more like a Republican every single day. Really, he hates the Democrats. He hates y'all. And you're going to see that defiance coming out of him more and more. Adams' team has begun activating his surrogates and plans to begin circulating petitions to get on the ballot once that process commences on February 25. But he's still in a precarious position. Though Adams leans to the right, listen, his strongest supporters, church-going older black Yorkers, are among the Democratic Party's most loyal voters, and despite playing footsie over the years with local Republicans around their common antipathy toward far-left Democrats, New York's GOP stands against much of what the mayor has prioritized. All that's going to change. So now Adams, the city's second black mayor, who swept into office with a lot of promise and raw political talent, is increasingly a politician without a home. He's just a man who is happy he won't be going to jail, said Curtis Selwa, who is running in the GOP mayoral primary. A Jehovah's Witness would have a better chance of getting a convert going door to door than Eric Adams would have getting Republicans to sign a petition for him. Billionaire John Castamitis, an active political donor and commentator, said Monday night Adams is considering running as a Republican. What did I tell you? I haven't even gotten through the majority of this article. What did I tell you? He's going to defect. He is going to defect. Get ready for it. But the chances are unlikely, save for a direct intervention from Trump himself. To run on the GOP line, Adams would need to change his voter registration by midnight Friday. Alternatively, he would be given the line as a registered Democrat if 3 of the 5 New York City Council Republican chairs approve, but 2 have already held votes back, Swava, and another 2 have votes coming up within days. The mayor would also face a structural disadvantage running as a Republican. Many of his top issues are non-starters for the average GOP voter. A rezoning plan to build more housing in low-rise neighborhoods, he'd have to forget about that. The proliferation of migrant and homeless shelters, he'd have to forget about that. And Adams' tepid support for congestion pricing. And even if Adams were to win the GOP primary, he would face steep odds in the general election. Democrats outnumber Republicans 6-1 in the city, though unaffiliated voters make up the second largest share of voters. And the mayor would likely lose many of the diehard Democrats who comprise his base by defecting. Can a Republican win in New York? Yes, but it takes a single issue and it takes a groundswell of support and people needing absolute change, and it's not just change, it's absolute change. Former GOP mayoral candidate Joe Holta, a deputy mayor to Rudy Giuliani in the 1990s, said. General election results underscore New York City's partisan divide. Former Vice President Kamala Harris beat Trump by 38 points, and the mayor's own supporters were at the vanguard of Trump's re-election. I'm Eric's friend, but I stand on my principles. that what Trump is doing is wrong. Al Sharpton is civil rights leader and NBC host, said in a recent interview. Sharpton is planning to convene black political leaders this week to discuss Adams's predicament, and on Tuesday called the dismissal memo political blackmail. That's what it is. You don't get something for nothing, Adams. And you played this game long enough, and he knows what he's doing. If the mayor were to disagree with the president, does that mean they have the right to call a trial on him at any time? It certainly sounds like President Trump is holding the mayor hostage, Sharpton said in a statement. The pitfalls of balancing an alliance with Trump and the concerns of New Yorkers are already manifest. On Monday, the head of the 32 BJ SEIU lambasted Adams' reaching directive on how to handle immigration agents who show up to municipal shelters and hospitals. The president of the union, which endorsed Adams in 2021, said, listen, the since revised policy provides too much leeway for U.S. immigration and customs enforcement agents to enter city-run facilities staffed by the labor mayor's members. In the lead up to Monday's deal, Adams spent months currying favor with Trump. The mayor studiously avoided criticizing the GOP leader during the presidential campaign, even as he bashed the National Democrats. He praised White House cabinet pick Elon Musk and went out of his way to greet Trump at the Ultimate Fighting Championship event in Manhattan. In December, Adams hosted Trump border czar Tom Hoffman in Gracie Mansion and suggested Holman's team would have a hand in rewriting the city's sanctuary city rules. The mayor then pledged to never publicly criticize Trump. A deference he said he initially offered former President Joe Biden as well. That's a lie. And then last month, Adams dined with Trump near the president's Mar-a-Lago home in Florida, days before skipping several Martin Luther King Jr. Day events in Manhattan to attend Trump's inauguration. What kind of Democratic mayor disrespects the memory and the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. to go to the inauguration of a Republican president? One who is a traitor to black people, one who is a traitor to the Democratic Party. He also sat for an interview with Tucker Carlson, of all people, that prick, and offered little pushback against the conservative provocateurs' attacks on sanctuary cities, immigrants, and New York City. Adams' team says those events and the conditional dismissal, which must be approved by a judge, will be distant memories by the June Democratic Party. That's what y'all think. There will not be distant memories. People have long memories, whether you all think so or not. But Trump is sure to produce a stream of local headlines throughout the campaign that will force Adams to take a position or stay conspicuously mum. Case in point, Holman, the border czar, is set for another sit-down with the mayor this coming Thursday. According to the mayor, Trump's troubles is the specter of former Governor Andrew Cuomo. The Democrat is inching closer to entering the race and would compete for the same voters. Cuomo, get in the race. But despite his mountain of problems, Adams has found receptive audiences at several recent faith events and has the unwavering support of the Brooklyn Democratic chair and one barometer of Adams' base. Yeah, they always run to the church, don't they? These politicians don't go to church, but they run the churches when they want votes. State Assembly member Rodney Bachet, her Malayan, said in a statement, "We hope to move on from what seems to have been a politically motivated case and allow the mayor to keep delivering for the people of New York." He did not deliver for the people of New York. And Adams is a liar. Adams is going to betray y'all. You better get ready for the big betrayal because it's coming. And don't sit back and be duped. Don't sit back and let them play y'all for fools, because the mind games are going to begin. The manipulation is going to begin. Appalling silence on important issues and not responding and running over to the side of the enemy and sitting down with people like Tucker Carlson and them and not standing up for your own people, that lets them know indirectly that you are a traitor. And whether people like it or not, these are stipulated facts. I don't care about your comments in the comment section. Keep them coming. Don't forget to subscribe to Tyrone Bowman Live. This channel is unbought and unbossed, and we will never monetize under any circumstances or conditions. I will not be beholden to YouTube or anybody else. We're on the road to getting 2,000 subscribers, and it's going to happen. Never surrender, never quit.